You're an early human, spear in hand, heart pounding as you stalk a massive woolly mammoth across the frozen tundra. Your clan has planned this hunt for days, coordinated, clever, deadly. But as you close in for the kill, a shadow shifts in the underbrush. A low, guttural growl echoes through the air, freezing you in place. Before you can react, it lunges, fangs like curved daggers glinting in the pale light. In seconds, the hunter becomes the hunted. What if I told you this wasn't just a nightmare from the past, but a brutal reality for our ancestors? Welcome to a world where humans ruled as apex predators, yet faced monsters that could end a life with terrifying precision. Today, we're diving deep into the fossil evidence that reveals the worst creatures to run into during the Stone Age. Buckle up. This journey through ancient terror will change how you see our prehistoric past. Let's start by shattering a myth that's lingered in popular imagination for far too long. For decades, scientists painted our Stone Age ancestors as timid survivors, huddling in caves, scavenging scraps while ferocious beasts dominated the wilds. Picture them as helpless underdogs, barely scraping by in a hostile world. But recent breakthroughs in archaeology and biology have flipped that script entirely. We're talking about a revolution in how we understand early humans. By examining the chemical signatures locked in ancient bones, analyzing our own modern physiology, and piecing together clues from dig sites worldwide, experts now know the truth. For over 2 million years, humans weren't the prey, we were the predators. Hypercarnivores, to be exact. Think about it. Our ancestors derived more than 70% of their calories from meat. That's not the diet of a gatherer or opportunist. That's the fuel of a top-tier killer. Our stomach acid? More corrosive than any omnivores, potent enough to break down bacteria-ridden flesh from massive beasts like mammoths or mastodons. Our fat storage cells mirror those of wolves and lions, built for feast or famine cycles after big kills. Even our metabolism screams predator. Archaeological sites across Africa, Europe, and Asia back this up with hard evidence. Take the mammoth graveyards in Siberia or the butchered megafauna remains in Germany, bones systematically carved, marrow cracked open with specialized stone tools. These weren't lucky finds. They were the results of organized group hunts. Humans drove entire species to extinction through sheer hunting efficiency. Woolly rhinos, giant bison, even cave bears. We were so dominant that we reshaped ecosystems. But here's the chilling twist. Being at the top doesn't mean you're safe. In the Pleistocene era, the heart of the Stone Age, our ancestors shared their world with creatures that had evolved over tens of millions of years to be perfect killing machines. These weren't just animals. They were nightmares incarnate, with adaptations that turned human ingenuity into a desperate gamble for survival. The fossil record doesn't lie. Scattered across sites from South Africa to China, we find punctured skulls, gnawed limbs, and tooth-marked bones that whisper tales of horror. At Swartkrans Cave in South Africa, for instance, researchers unearthed the remains of Paranthropus robustus, our upright walking relatives from 2 million years ago. These weren't serene burials. The bones showed deep gouges, precise punctures, and scrape marks that matched the dental blueprints of their attackers. It's like a prehistoric crime scene, frozen in time. To truly grasp the terror, we need to meet these beasts one by one, starting with a cat that haunts our collective imagination. Smilodon fatalis, the saber-toothed tiger. Picture yourself in Ice Age California, your hunting party celebrating a fresh mammoth takedown. The air is thick with the scent of blood and victory. Then, from the tall grass, it emerges, a beast standing 3 feet at the shoulder, weighing as much as a grizzly bear. But it's those teeth that stop your heart. 2 ivory scimitars, nearly a foot long, serrated like steak knives. These aren't for show. They're engineered weapons. Smilodon's skull was a marvel of biomechanics, with massive neck muscles anchoring those fangs for devastating strikes. Unlike modern lions that chase down prey, Smilodon was an ambush specialist. Its stocky, bear-like frame allowed it to grapple victims, pinning them while delivering a bite that could pierce hide, muscle, and bone in one fluid motion. The jaw gaped to 90 degrees, clearing the way for those daggers to target vital arteries or crush tracheas. Did Smilodon hunt humans? Direct evidence is scarce, but the parallels are eerie. In South African sites from 1.8 million years ago, similar large cats left their marks on Paranthropus skulls, punctures spaced exactly like feline canines. Victims were dragged into trees, just as leopards do today, their bones dropping into caves below. For thousands of years, humans and saber-tooths competed for the same megafauna kills across the Americas. Imagine the standoffs, a human clan defending their hard-won carcass against this stealthy assassin. One wrong move, and those fangs could end you in seconds. It's no wonder our ancestors' stories, etched in oral traditions, echo with tales of fanged horrors. But if Smilodon was a stealthy killer, the cave lion, Panthera spelaea, was an outright juggernaut. This monster dwarfed today's lions, standing up to 5 feet tall and stretching 11 feet nose to tail, tipping the scales at 800 pounds, twice the size of an African lion. Its bite force, double that of modern counterparts, capable of shattering a woolly mammoth calf's skull. Equipped with razor-sharp claws, bone-crushing jaws, and the cunning of a pack hunter, cave lions ruled the mammoth steppes of Europe and Asia. They weren't specialized stabbers like Smilodon. They were versatile predators, intelligent enough to coordinate attacks. Our ancestors knew them intimately and feared them deeply. Look no further than the cave art of Chauvet in France or Lascaux in Spain, dating back 35,000 years. These aren't doodles. They're obsessive portraits. Detailed renderings capture every muscle ripple, every predatory stance. Notice something? These lions lack moss, a detail confirmed by fossils that proves close observation. You don't immortalize a creature like this unless it's seared into your psyche through real, heart-stopping encounters. And the interactions went beyond fear. Humans hunted them too. At La Garma cave in Spain, archaeologists found cave lion toe bones modified with stone tools, mirroring modern skinning techniques to preserve claws on pelts. These were trophies from battles where humans turned the tables on the ultimate predator. Yet, the risk was immense. One misstep against an 800-pound behemoth, and your hunt became your funeral. Escalating the nightmare, enter Pachycracuta brevirostris, the giant short-faced hyena. Scientists once dismissed the fossils as exaggerated, but the evidence is undeniable. This beast stood over 3 feet at the shoulder, packed 240 pounds of muscle, and was 20% larger than today's spotted hyenas. Built like a tank, its skull was a fortress of destruction, reinforced for jaw muscles that generated bite forces to splinter mammoth femurs. Those premolar teeth? Not slicers, but sledgehammers for cracking bones and slurping marrow. What elevated Pachycracuta from brute to terror was its brainpower. Like modern hyenas, they formed intelligent packs with hierarchies, communication, and memory. They didn't just scavenge, they strategized. Sites across Europe and Asia reveal this deadly dance. At Fuente Nueva 3 in Spain, one of Europe's oldest human occupations, 220 fossilized hyena droppings surround stone tools and butchered elephant bones. These giants shadowed human hunters, learning patterns, waiting to strike. Computer models simulate the horror. Humans excel at the kill but falter during butchering, a lengthy process leaving them exposed. A hyena pack could swarm, their coordinated assaults overwhelming even armed groups. The proof of predation is stark. At Zhoukoudian Cave in China, home to Peking man Homo erectus, skulls and long bones bore marks initially blamed on cannibalism. Closer analysis? Pachycracuta, tooth scores. Our ancestors weren't devouring each other, they were being devoured. Imagine the psychological toll. Knowing a pack of bone crushers trailed your every move, turning your triumphs into traps. Shifting from brute force to deadly finesse, prehistoric leopards perfected a surgical strike that exploited human vulnerabilities. Modern leopards are already lethal, but their ancient kin were masters of precision. Take the juvenile Paranthropus robustus skull from Swartkrans Cave. 2 round holes at the skull base, spaced like leopard canines. This wasn't random. The bite severed the spinal cord for instant paralysis. Microscopic scrapes show the body was dragged upward, hoisted into a tree for safe feasting, bones raining down into the cave. This method wasn't opportunistic. Early humans fit leopard prey profiles perfectly, another primate to stalk and consume. Even the skies weren't safe. The Tong child, a 2.3 million-year-old Australopithecus africanus fossil, bore puncture marks in the eye sockets matching prehistoric eagle talons. Snatched from the ground, crushed mid-air, this wasn't rare. Modern eagles do the same to monkeys. Our ancestors, despite tools and smarts, were vulnerable enough to become avian meals. These stories, etched in fossils from 3 continents, redefine Stone Age life. We were apex predators, yes, driving megafauna to extinction through cunning hunts. But we coexisted with evolved killers. Smilodon's ambush fangs, cave lions' crushing might, hyenas' pack intelligence, leopards' precision, eagles' aerial strikes. The terror wasn't just physical, it was existential. Every outing meant facing mortality, honing strategies, group defenses, advanced weapons, landscape reading, to survive. Yet, thrive we did. Our ancestors outlasted these beasts, adapting until we stood alone at the top. Those ancient puncture marks aren't mere relics, they're testaments to resilience. In a world of daggers and jaws, humans turned fear into fuel, emerging as the ultimate survivors. So next time you feel safe in your modern world, remember, our dominance is hard-won, forged in the shadows of prehistoric nightmares. If this dive into ancient terrors hooked you, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. What's the scariest Stone Age beast in your mind? Thanks for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next deep dive into history's hidden horrors.